as promised, friends, I am back, and as promised as well, we were talking about all the anime things, and honestly, I'm glad that it all worked out in the sense of talking about all that, because we definitely had even more anime announcements during that time that I was sick and everything, so we have lots to talk about today. Hello friends, happy Monday. So very excited that I'm back, so excited that you're here, just so excited for this time, and I have missed talking about all the manga and anime news, but again, we're mainly going to be focusing on anime. I know I have other manga related news, but mainly I'm just focusing on the licenses. Of course, we're going to talk about Magical Girl Dandelion, that's going to be the first thing, we'll talk about that in just a second, and then the rest are all going to be anime. I don't have any cover reveals, though I have several saved, but I'm like, we'll just do that for next week. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump right in. Magical Girl Dandelion, we had a new chapter released during that time frame that I wasn't filming, and it was so good. The new baddie, like we got a glimpse of her in the previous chapter before this latest one, and she looked amazing while she is having some time to shine in chapter 10, and she was really amazing, okay? But that cliffhanger, no, we didn't like that cliffhanger at all. If I know I have said that I'm sure that there has been other cliffhangers that are really bad, but this one takes the cake. Like it's really bad. Like what are we gonna do now? What is our magical girl going to do? Because it was just that bad. It was just that bad. It had a little bit of those horror-like vibes again, where I'm like, oh, I'm really feeling this, you know, feeling all the emotions. And I turned the page, I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, that is pretty not cool. It was sort of gross. I mean, nothing graphic or anything, but I was like, ugh, like it really changed the mood and the tone once you turn the page. But talking about Magical Girl Dandelion, of course you can read the English version on the Shonen Jump app, and as always, pause this video, go read it. It is phenomenal. You will not regret it. But what I wanted to say is that Magical Girl Dandelion, the first volume released in Japan this past week. Congrats to Sensei. I have been following the Magical Girl Dandelion account on Twitter, and I have seen so many tweets of them retweeting other people saying they got the bonus goodies, they got their paperbacks. It has been phenomenal. I really hope it has been a very successful launch. It looked like it was. I don't know the numbers though, but I genuinely hope it did, because man, there's just so much love for this series, and so many of us want Viz to print and physically license this series. Please, Viz Senpai, please. I truly hope that they do. And even better news on top of that is somewhere in volume 1, it did confirm and mention that July 25th is when volume 2 will be coming out. So not only is it going to be volume 1, but we're going to have volume 2. Granted, that is the Japanese release, but again, hopefully that's going to carry over at some given point in time in the US, and that we will get it. But I just had to start this video off, of course, with Magical Girl Dandelion, because if there's any news, I love sharing it with you guys. This series has just been such a blast to read, and never expected to love it as much as I do. So it has just been really cool to see all this love and excitement for the series, because it's so rightfully deserved. But sticking with this Japanese news theme here about just news that's happening in Japan, even if we have these series in English, whether that's digitally or physically, because this one we actually do, and that's Snow White the Red Hare, volume 27. The cover is up. I guess you could buy Japanese ebooks or physical copies, and I just had to share it with you because I love it so much. Look how cute they look. Oh my goodness, I feel like it has been forever since we got a new volume, and while this isn't, you know, coming out in the US yet, we US readers, or us English readers, can know that it is definitely coming, and I was just so happy about that because I've missed this series. I think it was, oh my goodness, I don't even know who mentioned it, but a friend's like, yeah, maybe, I think it was my friend Holly saying maybe it'd be time to reread it, and I was like, you know, it might be time to reread it because it's been a hot minute since I have read it, and I do have a review on this channel, but I don't want to link it up in the corner because I want to be able to share the PVs and of all that for the anime. But just know that if you're interested in my thoughts, I do have a review on that. And if it wasn't even better to get volume 27, Shirayuki and Zen are on the latest volume issue of Lala, the magazine, and oh, they look so good. I was so excited for this as well. I was like, we're being fed. It's just, oh, it's so good when this series gets some hype, gets some attention. I love it so much. And again, I'm definitely due for a reread, certainly before all of these new licenses are or before these new manga of these new licenses drop, because there were some things. One of the biggest ones, this was not necessarily a personal win for me in this sense, but I know it was for a lot of people. Yen Press came in clutch, announcing DNN Angel, the new edition. I feel like Twitter was blown up with excitement. It was an incredible thing to see. I know some people were not excited for this announcement, but I do think it was a huge deal. At least when I asked people, I was like, this feels like a big deal. Would you recommend it? And I got so many recommendations to try out this series. I will mention, I found it from my friend Layla that she had said, or Leela, I'm so sorry if I'm saying her name wrong if she's watching this video, but she had mentioned that we actually did get the singles of this series from Tokyo Pop several years ago, but when Tokyo Pop folded, unfortunately, DNN Angel was one of those series that never finished getting printed in English. So now Yen Press giving these new editions, we're gonna get the entire series in English, and I was like, wow, that's huge. And I know there's an anime because friends have also mentioned that. I am very curious about this. I'm hoping my budget allows for me to get it because it's about a young boy who's in school, and apparently he becomes, what they say, the thief dark. And I guess when he turns into this thief, it's anytime he sees his crush. And I was like, oh my goodness, that could probably definitely cause some problems in school, because I'm like, if he sees her, does he just go like turn in or swap into this other person, thief dark? I have so many questions, and the art looks really cool. I did see that my library does have some of the volumes, so I was thinking too that maybe I could at least go and check out volume 1 and get a feel for the story. But I know there's so many people hyped and excited for this, so many congrats to everybody who is just so stoked, that loved the original series, or the original series when it was first getting released in the US, and they could never finish it. That'd be like so heartbreaking. I'm glad that you guys are having that second chance, that second opportunity with this manga license. The next manga license I want to feature is a much older manga, and it's a bowling shoujo sports manga. Yes, bowling shoujo sports. I feel like those are two terms, two words that typically we just don't hear often when it comes to manga licenses. But Starfruit Books, they had announcements saying they have licensed The Final Strike, and oh my goodness, it says this will be a first of handful of works that we'll be working on with Sensei. Somebody, I don't have it saved, but somebody had shared a link to, or like a screenshot of all of her titles, and there was so much shoujo, so I'm really excited. Let's look at these pages real quick, because I love the art style. It is so, is retro the right word? I don't feel like that's the right word. I love it. And the eyes, they're so sparkly, like it looks really, really good. And I do not know of any other bowling manga that we have, regardless of demographics. I don't know if any other ones that we have are in English, so I just feel like this is another manga license that is a huge deal. They do mention that they're most likely going to crowdfund this title. More info by the end of this year, and it will be available worldwide. I really hope so, that we hear more information before the year ends, because Starfruit Books has really had these really interesting and engaging manga licenses, specifically for shoujosei, that I am so curious and very excited about. I really hope we hear something. This is definitely one that if they decide to crowdfund it, that I definitely want to make sure I back, because my grandma was actually in a local bowling league when she was younger, and so I feel like that would just be sort of cool to see more into bowling. I don't know what the blurb is or anything like that. I didn't think of looking that up, but I was just so excited because it's about bowling. So yes, we are getting more sports shoujo manga, and that just feels like such a big deal. This last one that I want to feature though, this was a personal win for me, and I was so excited, and I even put online because I was like, I'm gonna be so salty. People are like, we just got this license because it got anime. Like, I do not care. I am happy you can't rain on my parade today. And that is betrothed to my sister's ex. We're getting the light novel and the manga. We have already got, I don't know if we talked about it or if I shared or anything, but I do know that we did get an anime announcement confirmed. I think we even got a brief PV at some point. I am so stoked. It does seem like it's a little bit sad, because it seems that our main girl, Marie, she's treated horribly by her family. She has a sister. Her sister gets all the love, gets all the praise, gets all the clothes, while the main female lead is just pushed off to the side. But something tragic happens where her sister is, I don't know, something happens and she ends up passing away. But the thing is, she was engaged to this earl, and the dowry's been paid. everything's been worked out. So her dad, being the rotten man he is, he's like, you're just gonna fill in this gap for your sister, even though I'm assuming so not her. And so she ends up, I guess, going, but there's like a misunderstanding. Obviously there would be, because if these sisters don't even look the same, I'm sure that Earl is going to know. I don't know what that dad was thinking, but she goes, and I just hope everything works out. I love the cover, and I'm just gonna say on a personal note, I love how the leads here have two different skin tones. Desperately hoping that that means they are two different ethnicities, because biracial relationships are very, very important to me, and I feel like we do not see them enough in manga at all. I'm in a biracial marriage, so I love seeing that part of my life represented in the fiction that I'm reading. I hope I will not get disappointed, because that is something I'm very, very excited for and very, very interested in. But as a whole, I'm just really excited about this manga. It comes out in January. I'm definitely gonna be getting it. I already put it on my pre-order list to make sure that I made room in my budget for this. Like, I am so stoked. And to get the light novel at the same time, that feels like a really big deal. And I have seen several friends who are really excited for that. So just a win overall, really, with all of these for the Shoujosei community. And I can't remember if there were other Shoujosei series that got mentioned or licensed, honestly, and I do apologize if there was. We'll have to talk about that next week, and I can go through my bookmarks that I have, because I didn't quite go through all of them because I just had so much saved working through everything, especially for this next part when it comes to the anime. But wait, before we talk about the anime announcements that we've gotten, I do want to mention, thanks to, I don't remember who it was, but somebody in my Discord shared, I think it was last night actually, that the Full Moon anime, which I think we talked about at one point, that it got picked up. Well, the pre-order for the Blu-ray of Full Moon, at least like volume 1, is up for pre-order. So if you love this anime and you have wanted to watch it either in subbed or dubbed, that is an option on this Blu-ray, and you can own it for your personal collection. I don't know if you can even read, or excuse me, if you can watch this anywhere. So this is definitely just a big deal that I know it's an older anime. So to be getting the subbed and the dubbed, because I think they even mentioned that the English dub, yeah, for the entire series has been found. So I think it's going to be, I'm assuming, 2 volumes for a Blu-ray, but that it's coming, that it's here. And the person who shared was really, really excited. And I just like, man, I have to make sure that I put this in here somewhere before we talk about these anime announcements, so that if you want to go get your copy, your Blu-ray, you have that opportunity to rewatch this or watch it for the very first time, which is so exciting. From this point on, it's going to be all anime announcements or just anime related news to new things that are going to be coming, new things that we can be preparing for. Some of these we knew about. We knew that an anime adaptation had been confirmed, but now we're seeing like the key visuals and the teasers. We're seeing all the things. But the first one, I'm going to go in the order that I saw them by like dates. And the first one was My Happy Marriage has a new anime production confirmed. We don't know what this means. I've seen people saying it's a season 3. It does not confirm if this is a season 3 or if this is something, as it's saying, a new anime altogether. We don't really know. We just know more details are coming. Also, I don't have the bookmark on me, but I did hear that My Happy Marriage, the last 2 episodes, finally dropped on Netflix. So just know that if you've been waiting, it is officially on there now. But I am very curious of what this new anime is related to My Happy Marriage. They have a new key visual here, and they had the new PV, and I'll leave a link in the corner of what's to come. I felt like the PV didn't really show us much. I felt like it was just saying more than anything, though unfortunately I don't know Japanese, so I don't know what it was saying in the actual trailer. But something with My Happy Marriage is coming, and I do feel like that's a really big win, because so many people have deeply loved the anime, deeply loved the manga and the light novels. Next up, which looks so stunning, is Agents of the Four Seasons. We got the key visual and we got the new PV, but look at this key visual. It looks beautiful. And even from the brief things that we saw in the PV, absolutely stunning. I cannot remember, there is someone I follow on Twitter, her name is Violet, and she will often say like X person worked on this Shoujosei series, X person is going to be part of this, and I can't remember the names off the top of my head, but I can say that she had mentioned some bigger names in the anime industry of like producers and composers, I hope that I'm not mixing that up, that are working on this. And I was just like, wow, I have not read the manga, but we do have the manga from Yen Press. We also have the light novels. I'm really, really curious. Honestly, seeing the PV of this, it made me want to go pick up the manga and try it. And if you have read the manga, please let me know what you thought. I know 2 friends that are reading the light novel, and I do believe that they both really liked it. And I don't fully remember what the series is about, except for that it's in a modern-like setting, I believe. believe, even though it throws me off because I thought it was more of a historical series, but I don't believe that's the case. But I'll definitely leave the PV link in the corner so you can go check it out and just see the beauty of what we're getting just from this mini trailer, because it is beautiful. This next one just looks like it's gonna be really relaxing. We got the new key visual and the new P for a Gentle Noble's Vacation recommendation. I have looked into this. We have the manga from Tokyo Pop, and I just have to say I've really loved this key visual here. It just, I don't know, just looks really nice, looks chill. I feel again that matches the vibe of the story, because when I looked into it, because somebody I know absolutely loves this series, the reason I'm interested in this series, and I think my library might have volume 1, it's about a young man, something happens, and he ends up getting isekai'd into this other world. And when I was reading the blurb too, he's like so chill and so laid back about this. And like, oh, this world sort of looks like my own, but it's not quite my own. And I don't have really any magical abilities in this world. And like, he's just taking it in stride. He's just taking it in stride. So I think that's why it's called A Gentle Noble's Vacation recommendation. I'm assuming he's taking other people's recommendations of what to do in this world and that he is a noble. I feel like, yeah, if you need like maybe what could be considered possibly a comfort watch, that maybe this is it. And again, if you've read the manga and you would recommend it, let me know. I feel like, yeah, that my library has just volume 1 because I wanted to read it before it released just to get a feel of it. The trailer of this one also looked really good. Very, very intrigued. For this next one, this was shocking to me. I feel like out of any of these announcements, I was totally surprised. I don't know. I mean, unfortunately, I do see anime leaks online, whether that's purposeful or accidental. Usually they're just accidental because one person shares, a whole bunch shares. And I totally get that because it's exciting. But A Witch's Life in Mongol got an anime adaptation confirmed. And I was like, what? As you might have seen in my Shoujo release calendar, that we actually have volume 1 releasing in May. It's right around the corner. It's coming from Yen Press. I know it's an award-winning series, and I just saw recently there's somebody on Twitter that they put the top 50 best-selling manga, and I think it's manga and light novels, in this really nice chart, and volume 7 was in the top 25, or at least the top 50. So obviously it's doing really well in Japan. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. So like, I don't know, maybe because it's not was not licensed in the US before now, but I never really heard anybody talking about this series. It feels like it was just totally like left field, so to speak, to be getting this, but it looks good. And I know for sure this is like a historical series. I wish I could remember what this one was about. I didn't think to look up the blurbs of the other ones. I'm excited for all of them, but the next two after this I'm most excited for. This is one I mentioned that I meant to pre-order and I didn't. I know the person lettering this series and she has said it's very, very good. So if you're looking for a historical josei series, I believe this could be this should be something that you're looking into. I'm not sure if it's a romance. I do know it has some political stuff, and it definitely seems like it has, where this young female lead is trying to, I don't want to say improve her life, but I feel like she was in really, however society was, she was considered to be at the bottom. Somebody teaches her and helps her to become wiser and go up in the ranks of where she's at in society, or at least in this palace that she's in. So I'm very, very curious for this one. But as I shared, these next two were like so big and I was so excited for both of them. The first one was A Star Brighter Than the Sun. Oh my goodness, I love the key visual. We are seeing the sparkles already, and I really feel like that matches the manga. I do have a first impression of the first volume if you're curious about it. It was wonderful, and oh my goodness, watching the trailer of this, the PV was everything. I was like, the shoujo sparkles were so very real. I am over the moon excited for this. I love this creator's work so very much, and knowing that we're getting another anime, because I think her previous work, I don't know if it was her previous work, but like one of her older series, was My Love Story. She's the same creator as My Love Story and High School Debut, which I absolutely love. This one, I guess it's about a young woman, her and her childhood friend, that she was the tall girl, he was the short boy. They were really good friends, but they had, not misunderstandings or anything, but like people sort of treat her differently because she was taller than everybody else, and people would treat him differently because he was short, he wasn't good at sports and everything. But then they sort of grew apart, not on purpose or anything, but then they get like to high school. Suddenly he is as tall as her and he's one of the most popular guys in school, and she's realizing now in high school that she actually has feelings for him. But she's sort of like, what am I gonna do? He's the most popular guy. And she's just very nervous and very shy. A total precious little being. Honestly, both of them are. Both of them are. I loved it. And I would highly recommend it. I'm very, very excited for this anime. And for the last one that I want to mention is Mechanical Marie. I'm also really stoked for this. We got the manga licensed, oh my gosh, at the beginning of this year? I think it was the beginning of this year because I was screaming in my car in excitement in my kid's car line at school because I was just like, yes, it's a shorter series, but it's coming. The pre-order is already up on multiple book retailers. I was already excited for this, and the key visual looks fantastic. I really feel like it matches closely to, I think it's the cover of volume 1, I believe. And the premise is about a young woman who has to pretend to be a robot because the male lead, Arthur, is very leery. I don't know if afraid of women is the right word, but he's very leery of them and he doesn't want women around him. She just sort of has like this straight face all the time that I guess she could come across as a robot. And so she ends up being hired as his bodyguard, but that's part of the thing. She has to act like a robot and he has no idea that she is legitly a human being. And it just sounds like a blast. The PV looked amazing. I love the scenes of her kicking butt. Like, yes, I'm 100% here for it. And then in passing, I follow the VA of Sebek from Twisted Wonderland, and I saw him say that he is the VA of Arthur Mechanical Murray. I was overjoyed. I was like, yes, I'm here. I was already seated, but now I'm like triple seated. I could hear his voice when Arthur was speaking, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I really love his character, mainly because somebody I follow is a wonderful fan artist and has like her own Sebek and OC romance, and I adore it so much. And so Sebek is like gone way up on like my list of favorite characters to Twisted Wonderland. Anyway, those are ramble aside that you didn't need. But usually if I see like one of my favorite VAs, or at least a VA that I really like, if I see them in another going to be performing an anime, I do like to try and just support them because I know they're doing their best. And so yeah, like as you can see, we have so many anime that are gonna be coming. Some of these I think do come out later this year, but some of them I think maybe are next year. And also we have those manga licenses to be looking forward to seeing those get up, the pre-orders get up and everything, and when they're coming out, because I don't think Yen Press said when Deanna and Angel is coming out, except for maybe in the fall. I don't even know if they said that this time around. But yes, there's so much to look forward to, and I would love to know which of these anime or other anime announcements that you've seen that you're most excited for, and like, yes, I cannot wait. Let me know down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!